there, good people. It's Crippled Critic, and this week I'm going to be talking about the mobile game Kingdom Hearts Unchained X or Key or Chi. I don't know. Square Enix always has really confusing titles for their names, and Kingdom Hearts especially. So I said in an earlier video that I was a big fan of Kingdom Hearts before, and it's true. I played the first game when I was 12 years old, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a great game for kids who were young enough to still like the kiddie Disney movies, but old enough to sort of want more complex ideas and storylines they can understand. So the series was headed by a guy named Tetsuya Nomura, who previously worked as a character designer for the Final Fantasy series. With his limited experience with writing or directing his own game, and with the crazy idea of mixing Disney characters and Final Fantasy characters in one game, you would think something like this would fail, but no, it was a big hit, especially in America. Originally, Tetsuya had pitched the idea of Mickey Mouse being the main character, but Disney wasn't completely confident with the project at the time and limited his use of their most beloved character. So instead, he wrote a whole new character just for the game. Personally, I think limiting him actually kind of helped. I feel like the first game, because of these limitations, he had to make a more straightforward story and there was a lot more room to breathe. After the first game's success, however, Disney gave him a lot more freedom, and I kind of think it killed the series. From the second game onward, the story just got so much more convoluted, and the Disney characters and worlds had less and less to do with anything. Not to mention, after the second game, the series just stopped really releasing any content that had anything to do with the main story, and instead had prequels and side quests and side stories and prequels, and all on different consoles, by the way, and I just got really uninterested in the whole thing. It is hard for me to fault the series anymore, though, I will say, mostly because it's over 15 years old, and I'm an adult now, and I don't think the game was really catering to me anymore. I mean, how can it really? I don't like the same things I did when I was 12. But also, the older I get, the more I realize that the Kingdom Hearts series is a lot like other series aimed at kids. Now, I don't mean that adults can't enjoy things aimed at kids. Obviously, I do. And I don't necessarily mean that something aimed at kids is automatically simple or derivative. But what I will say is, a lot of things aimed at kids are meant for you to, buy things, buy tie-in comics, buy toys, gimmicky things that'll catch your attention just for a little bit. Nothing in the main story is ever really going to get resolved. None of the questions are going to get answered, just more questions on top of questions, because it's all designed to make you want to buy the next game in the series. But hey, that doesn't mean I can't enjoy some things about it. I mean, the gameplay is still great, it's got awesome RPG action-oriented gameplay, and I love seeing all the playable Disney worlds. I mean, I was actually kind of excited to play this new mobile game, Kingdom Hearts Unchained, mostly because it was actually on the console that I owned, and it was just a simple game, and I'd heard that even though it was supposed to be a prequel to the series, it also was for newcomers too. So anyway, let me get into how this game is played. So the game is pretty simple for a phone game. The settings and options are really basic. They give you the option to lower background music, the volume, and turn off alerts, but everything else you can't really change. But you don't really need to. Just like Pokemon Go, there isn't any spoken dialogue in the game, and everything's subtitled in the story, so that's good. This is the first game in the series that lets you customize your own character, meaning you can pick being a boy or a girl, and lots of different hairstyles and outfits to choose from. Very colorful, very spiky hair, a lot like an anime style, if that's your thing. You'll be able to upgrade your traditional Kingdom Hearts Keyblade weapon, where you can find and buy new versions of the Keyblade. And just like in the other games, you'll find comrades along the way that can help you in battle. All of them are Disney characters or Final Fantasy characters. You can upgrade and buff them, but mostly it's not much customization there. So when I say the gameplay is simple, I really mean it in a good way. It's just tapping the screen. You tap the screen in the direction you want to go. You tap the screen to hit items and pick things up that you want. And you tap the screen to attack enemies. No real precision involved or fast-paced timing. You also have the option of swiping left or right during combat, which makes it so you do a stronger attack. It also hits more enemies at once. I would recommend this move, especially when you get to more enemies on screen. As far as I can tell, enemies don't actively try to find you. You have to go to them, so you'll have plenty of time to attack. So if you're worried about timing, it should be fine. The game, like many Japanese games, is tutorial heavy, meaning you'll never really get lost. The game's constantly telling you what to do and giving you directions and where to go, kind of limiting at times, so the game is a little bit linear. Later you can unlock side quests, although from what I can tell they're a lot harder than basic early level stuff, so probably better to do it later in the game. So yeah, easy. Just the amount of difficulty I would want in a mobile game, honestly. I feel like disabled gamers who have fine motor skill disabilities should have an easy time, in my opinion. Although the game does have to be played horizontally, not vertically, just a heads up. As far as visual impairments, like color blindness or distorted sight, I think you should have an okay time. I didn't notice any sort of importance on certain colors in the game. Yes, enemies usually have a red marker and your health is green, but everything is pretty clearly labeled, like I said. And before I said there are subtitles, everything, so it should be fine. I will say that sometimes the screen seems a little cluttered, mostly with unnecessary menus or giant congratulatory updates that pop up on the screen when you're fighting. But it kind of just adds to the flashy hyper feel of the game, and it shouldn't be a problem in my opinion. The story is kind of crazy. As a prequel, it's supposed to explain the events of the Keyblade War, and I think explain how the Worlds of Light got separated. But believe me, you will not understand what is happening. I barely did, and I've seen a lot of the story. But I don't think you really need to know the story. If you play the game and just want to experience the Disney worlds and the story of the Disney worlds and enjoying like the hack and slash gameplay, then you still have a lot of fun. So take that however you like. Unlike the other spin-offs and prequels in the series, I really do feel like this game is honest about being a game you can play without having to play any of the other ones. It feels like it's just a good, fresh start. The look of the game is pretty good. Lots of vibrant colors. I'd say the style is a little strange. The characters all look like miniature people. If there are adults in the game, I couldn't tell. But everything was kind of like a good flash animation. Still unique enough to stand out within the series. Like most mobile games, there are microtransactions. You can buy a lot of items. I would say it's mostly cosmetic things like outfits and hairstyles. I think you can buy different Keyblade weapons, but I so far hadn't felt any pressure to upgrade. It's a pretty simple game, and I'm doing fine on my own, just battling and finding items throughout the story. So yeah, I think I was really surprised at how much I liked this game. For what it is, it's an interesting take at a Kingdom Hearts mobile game. I think if you just don't take the story very seriously and just play, you'll have a good time. It's fun, and lighthearted, and I think you'll have a good time just going to Disney worlds and experiencing that. As an old fan of the series, I can honestly say if you're looking for a Kingdom Hearts game that you just want to jump into and you've never actually played a Kingdom Hearts game, this is definitely the right game. You won't go wrong with it. Thanks you guys for watching, and I appreciate it, and I'll see you later.